Hello friends, welcome back. Yet another fascinating video lined up for all of you guys. And this time around, I've picked up yet another Tata Group of stock. If you remember, last month, I had given a big bold call on Tata Steel, and the stock was at sub 400 levels. I think it was at 373 or 375 levels. And right now, as I speak and record this video, Tata Steel is at 570 levels. So it's an appreciation of more than 50% in just a matter of 1.5 odd month for Tata Steel. And that's the kind of powerful observations I bring across to all of you guys on this YouTube video. Today, again, not a surprise. I have yet another Tata Group of stock and a very similar kind of a chart observation which is lined up, but a different set of indicators, of course. Now, for all of you guys who are new, do ensure that you subscribe to this channel because there is huge amount of gains which you get when you subscribe to this channel. You get to see a lot of aspects about markets. You get to see a lot of fresh trading ideas, and these are not just short term trading ideas. These are more of positional trends. These are more of trend changing ideas which happen into stocks. So all of you guys have to just click on the bell button, subscribe, and ensure that you watch the entire video today because I've got a special stock, and that's on Tata Motors. As you can see, the charts for Tata Motors now, for all of you guys who've been following me on various social media platforms, as well as watching my calls on ET now. I've been specifically mentioning about Tata Motors since the last, I think, 3 or 4 months, right from the time when the stock had broken about that 100 zone. I think from there on there are some very strong changes which have happened to the undercurrent of the stock prices. And now I believe that from the shorter term time frame, there is a bigger breakout which is unfolding for Tata Motors. So if you can look at the charts over here, this is the weekly charts for Tata Motors. I have mapped in a very simple indicator. That's the Ichimoku indicator. Now, one of the major aspects of the Ichimoku indicator breakouts is the breakout of this Chikou span, which is a part of the Ichimoku indicator. The moment we see Chikou span crossing and closing about the clouds or the Ichimoku cloud, we tend to attribute that these are strong change of undercurrents for the stock prices. Now I'll give you a very simple example. Look at the stock which was at in 2017, which was at 500 levels. Now, for the first time in so many years, in 2017, the stock had broken below the Ichimoku cloud pattern, and post that, you see, from 500 levels approximately, the stock went through a multi-year downtrend. It went through almost a 3.5 odd years of downtrend, which is why this breakout on Ichimoku pattern for Tata Motors is likely to be a big breakout for Tata Motors. It may not just be a 1 month or a 2 month or a 3 month impact. It could probably be a multi-year impact to the stock price. So that's the key for Tata Motors, and that's why I believe that the stock, which is still trading at I think 175 or 180 zone, holds a lot of potential for long-term traders. Now let's look at the other aspects. Now, one of the indicators which I keep on mining and giving you thoughts about in terms of trending natures is the iNifty indicator. So as you can see, I've mapped up the last 20 years of history of the chart patterns for Tata Motors. Now 20 years is a substantial period of time when you're looking at the price patterns and trying to derive the historical trends. Now the upper grid, as you can see over here, the red lines and the blue lines is the iNifty indicator, and the lower grid, as you can see, is where the stock prices has been mapped. Now I've done a very simple trend basis analysis and breakout analysis on the indicators and the impact of that on the stock prices. So for example, at this point over here, when the indicator gives you a breakout, which means that when the red line crosses over the blue line, you see that there is a change of trend for the stock, and that change of trend lasts for a longer duration of time. Now look at this over here. In 2001, Tata Motors had given a breakout on the upside in terms of indicators. What followed post that, for a period of almost 6 or 7 years, I think 5 years to be more precise, from 2001 to 2006 approximately, the stock went to a 10x kind of returns. So after a big drubbing the stock had seen, when you saw the first time a breakout, you saw the stock moving into a 10x zone. Now let's look at the 2009 2010 scenario. when the stock gave a similar kind of an indicator breakout. As you can see over here, I think the stock price was approximately at 117 or 112 kind of a zone. From here on, given a time span of another three and a half odd years, you saw the stock moving into a 4x kind of a territory. So from 100 approximately, the stock jumped up to as much as 400 plus rupees in a span of three and a half odd years. So you can gauge the impact of this trend breaking indicator for the stock prices. So basically, the reading which you can derive, or the inference which you can derive from here, is that the longer the duration of the trend, the more multiplication the stock tends to do. And the shorter the duration of the trend, there is a probability that the stock may not multiply into a multifold, but it can give you a return of 30-40%. But remember, a 30-40% return is also a substantial return for a stock like Tata Motors. Now that brings us to the point number 3, which is this part over here. This was more of a continuation pattern breakout for Tata Motors. And as you can see from here on, the stock gave a return of 50%, which means it gained 1.5 times of the breakout prices. Now we are at the point number 4. And as you can see on the indicators, the indicator is very close towards a breakout. Now let us see whether the indicator has actually given us a breakout, as we are trying to record and being at the end of the month of November 2020. And if that is the case, and if history is something to go by, I think the gains for Tata Motors could be substantially high. So let us look at this aspect. And I've just zoomed up the part of the point number 4, and this is where the indicator is giving a confirmation. So at 180 approximately, where Tata Motors is currently trading as I'm recording the video, the indicator has already confirmed a breakout. These are monthly indicators, which means it's already shown a confirmation about this. And now the stock is trying to restart and reset its long-term uptrend, which is why I believe that, just as I discussed on Tata Steel, 1.5 odd month back, this is another Tata group of stock which is showing a full-blown potential to go into a multi-year uptrend. Now, as I said, the rewards and the targets would all depend on how much and how far the stock travels, whether it's just a 6-month rally, whether it's 2 years of rally, whether it's a 5 years of rally. The more the stock travels on the upside in terms of time frame, the more gains is likely for the stock prices, which is why I believe from a longer term play, Tata Motors is something which should be on the autos radar. And for all of you guys who've liked this video, do ensure and don't forget to leave a comment and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. Thank you so much, guys. See you next time and with another interesting stock idea. Thank you.